I'm Leanna Schulz. I've been thinking a lot lately about running races and how I'm struggling with this whole pandemic and isolation thing. Here's the thing, I guess I expected when it started that it was going to be different than it's turned out. I thought it would be intense. I thought it would disrupt our life. But I really hope they already had an effective drug that would deal with this respiratory illness. And I hope that they had a vaccine already developed for SARS that they could just tweak a little bit for this coronavirus. I thought it was going to be a lot shorter. I thought it would be more like a sprint or a 100-yard dash. And so I went into it pretty optimistic, feeling strong, feeling creative, ready for some downtime and even some quiet time. And with us not being able to go to jobs, it gave us permission to spend time with family, to rest and play and cook. But now, 8 or 9 weeks into it, I realize this is not a sprint. This is not even close to a 100-yard dash. This is a marathon. And it's so not like what I expected. There's a saying that expectations are premeditated resentments. And so when this doesn't turn out like I thought, I get impatient and upset and angry. Being aware of my expectations helps me to cope better. Knowing this is not a sprint, this is not a dash, this is a marathon, I need to revise my expectations. So I looked up, what do marathon runners go through? How do they deal with this? They talked about a marathon being a mental roller coaster, how you can feel great and just unstoppable for miles and miles. And then, like in the middle of the race, it feels like your legs stop working and you are so tired you want to quit over and over. And you start telling yourself, I can't do this. I simply can't do this. And it's usually in the middle of the race that it gets really the hardest. So I started reading about some of the roadblocks and the difficulties they face and how do they deal with them. One roadblock was unexpected injuries. I was thinking about this whole situation. We have a lot of unexpected injuries. We have squabbles between parents and children trying to do this homeschooling. We have tensions between parents because of maybe financial issues or being laid off from a job. There's just the practical thing of serving up and cooking 3 meals a day and having the kids around 24/7. Maybe you have your own small business and it's really struggling. There's the whole fear of getting sick and not exposing one another. There's the isolation from friends and family who usually really encourage us. There's a lot of unexpected injuries. Another one was a feeling of a lack of progress. And boy, do I feel that with this. It feels like when I watch news, every night it's the same thing. We need more testing. We need more test kits. We need to need more PPEs. We have to keep wearing the mask and the gloves. We have to isolate. We have to be careful. Another thing is if you have contradicting coaching advice, it makes it really hard to know who to listen to and how to run the race with integrity. And we have that. Our medical community says one thing. Our presidential leadership says another. And our economic advisors have still another plan on what is best to deal with this. We didn't sign up for this marathon, and so it's really hard to know how to do it well. Well, as I kept reading, it told about different staminas that are required for different kind of races. Well, that makes sense. So for a sprint, you need high intensity, a bundle of energy to just push towards that finish line that you can see right there. It's short-lived, it's compact, and you can push yourself to get through it. With a marathon, that's 26 miles. You have to pace yourself. You have to parcel out your energy. You have to have high-calorie, high-protein snacks. We might be doing that. You have to work through that exhaustion. And you have to deal with the whole mental game of endurance where you have to coach yourself to keep on. So I looked up management strategies for running a marathon to see if there were any parallel applications for us. And there actually are. One of the strategies was conserve your energy. Don't use all of our energy worrying, rehearsing doom, looking for problems. Keep moving. Marathon runners, when they stop for their drinks of water, they just keep moving. So we shouldn't be completely sedentary. Try to move, hydrate, take time for rest, stretch, breathe deep, do some meditation. Another strategy is increase your endurance. Well, we didn't even get the opportunity to train for this, and here we are in the middle of it. So it makes it a little harder. But I looked in the scriptures, and Romans 12:12 says, rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. I could use some of that. Rejoice in hope. What might that look like? It could be going outside and going barefoot on the grass, letting the sun hit your face without a mask, letting the breeze ruffle your hair, and listening to the birds. It might mean surrounding yourself with a tribe of people who really love and encourage you. It might be reading things that are uplifting, calling for help when you need it, memorizing scripture. The Lord is my shepherd. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. The Lord is my rock and my salvation. Nothing can separate me from the love of God. Or it might be a mantra that you can repeat that helps you. I have one that goes like this. I can do hard things. 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 It encourages me somehow. A third one is the mental game. Runners said, you got to be present in the mile that you're in. Don't think about mile 26 when you're on mile 12. It's too overwhelming. So try to add some fun and some laughter into your day. Watch a movie that's a comedy. Tell some jokes. Continue to verbalize to God and try to offload those worries that you have. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm just using the method of prayer where I reiterate to God over and over all the people and all the things that I'm worried about, it can feel a lot like rehearsing my worries. So I've been trying a different type of prayer. One that works for me is doodling. They found that kids can learn really well if you let them doodle and take notes during the lecture. It kind of reinforces the truths in the learning. So while I am praying and verbalizing to God, I just doodle. I put, in this case, the names of the people that I love, that I'm worried about in big hearts. I put the people that I feel like are suffering in little teardrops. And the places where I want to grow or the people I want to encourage in this living flower. And then I just doodled dragonflies and hearts and growing vines all around it. I stick this up on my fridge like kindergarten art. And when I walk past, somehow it reminds me that God is holding those things for me, and I can let go of that. The fourth thing is keep focus. Sometimes keeping focus simply means putting one foot in front of the other. But it also might be change up your routine. Maybe have breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast. If you walk every morning, try walking in the moonlight if you live in a safe area. Go out and lay on the grass and look at the stars. Do a word search. Do a bird search. Try to do something creative. I have a lot of clay left over from the women's retreat that we had to postpone. And so I have been making little pinch bowls and little trays, and they're horrible, but I'm going to paint them, and then I'm going to place them in discreet places around my house so that after this is over, when my eye falls on them, it reminds me of the struggles and the things that we went through during this hard time. If you like to write, try journaling now. If you like to paint, do some painting. If you like to dance, try moving around to great music. Try focusing on someone else, not just yourself. Maybe age group that you don't usually engage with. Either children or teenagers, we let them intimidate us, or the elderly. Do a call or a text or a card. One thing I did at a retreat was we played cell phone roulette. Take your cell phone, go to your contact list, give it a spin, and wherever it stops, that's the person you call that day with a light and encouraging message. When we were at the retreat, one woman came up to me and said, I got this person. I don't even know this person that well. We did a work project together and I didn't really like her. We didn't get along that well. Do I have to call her? I said, now let's do a pass. Do it again. She did it again. The same name came up, and she kind of stomped off, muttering, saying, all right, I'll give her a call. Well, she came back later with a big smile. She said, that was crazy, Leanna. I called this woman. First of all, she was shocked that I called her, and then she was really encouraged. She said she felt kind of down today, and just the fact that I called and was a friendly voice really helped her. So that might be something you'd like to try. Remembering it's not about pushing hard 100% of the time. It's not just about checking things off your to-do list or your ta-da list, if that's how you feel about it. It's not just being productive every minute and pushing hard. It's practicing resilience, not just distraction, but adapting and being flexible. And that's hard. It's hard for me. Allow yourself some recovery time. This is a difficult situation. Try to accept this for what it is and work within that framework. The other line in that scripture was, be patient in tribulation. So I looked up some more. In the Bible, it said, Hebrews 12:1, run with patience the race that is set before us. There's a lot of things I like in that verse. First, it's a race that's set before us. It means I'm not out there running by myself. But run with patience. That seems like an oxymoron. Running seems like fast, and patience seems like slow. What does that mean? I think it runs with endurance. Run with an eye focused on what's happening in you during this whole process. Are you becoming stronger? Are you persevering more? Are you able to discipline yourself? Fill your time with some good things. Don't try so hard all the time. Remember you're waiting along with others. And break up long stretches of isolation with a reward, like going to someone's house and sitting on the front porch, staying far apart or wearing a mask, but being able to see the twinkle in their eyes and the laugh on their face. 1 Corinthians 9:24 says, run your race in such a way that you may win. I don't think this is talking about racing against other people. I think this talks about the race you're running with yourself and seeing the things that it brings out within you. This is a spiritual marathon as well as a global pandemic. It is testing our faith. It is growing our endurance. It is building muscles. It is expanding our hearts. Run with patience the race that is set before us. I think this is a unique opportunity as the light of this pandemic exposes all the fault lines in our culture, in our church, in our own life. I think it's a huge opportunity to become a better person than we were before this, a kinder, more thoughtful, more loving person. And I think we'll all see that we are a lot stronger than we thought. So let's not just pray for this hard thing to go away. Let's also pray for courage that is even bigger than this hard thing, that will help us unlock the person, the church, the culture that God planted within and calls us to be. So tie up those running shoes and stretch those hamstrings and set those sights on the race that is set before us. And let's do this thing together.